Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back. This is part 2 of the Scandinavian Hall table build. Now in part 1 we built the table, and this is where I ended on the last video. Here I was explaining the color choice. Now this was a sample that I had made for the lady in Kennesaw several months earlier, and it's just a Benjamin Moore latex paint. I thinned it down with some water, made a wash out of it, and took it home, and it was going to look great with the floors, with the walls, so I was going to go with that color. Now I had some issues achieving this color, as you're going to see in a minute, but well, this is where we ended the other one. This is where we start the new one. Welcome back. It's Monday morning, and I'm actually excited to be here. So this is where we landed. This looks really harsh on camera, but it's not that drastic of a finish. But what I was doing, that was the color I wanted. So I wanted to match that on that. I spent the best part of Friday making all these samples. And these I used a different Benjamin Moore color because all these were 1607, but they were just so blue that it wasn't, and part of it was the grain of the board. The grain is different, but it just wasn't working. So I struggled with that. And the bad part of this is, I had to put it on. I do a mixture, put it on, and then you have to let it dry because it's water, basically. So it just took forever. So anyway, I ended up using a different color, Benjamin Moore, a little bit darker, a little bit closer to black. And then when you thin it down, it becomes more of a gray. So it's a really pretty color. It's not what I intended, but it's actually going to be softer than this, which is good because, it's a water-based finish, if you will. So it raised the grain, which I knew it would, on the piece. So I'm going to sand it very lightly. That'll take a little bit of the color out. And then I think it's going to be exactly where I want it. So that's where I'm at this morning. I'm going to sand this up and get it clear on it. Man, that is smooth. Okay, so what I did, this was the color of the stain, you can kind of see it underneath, that I ended up with on my table. I put Rubio Monaco Pure on the right side and just clear paste wax on the left side. So I applied them, let them dry for a minute, buffed them down. Now I'm going to let those dry, and whichever one of those I like better, that's what I'm going to go with. So I did a little test piece between Rubio Monaco Pure and natural paste wax on this stain, the finish for this. And paste finishing wax won, just the natural. I love Rubio, it's a great product. I've used it many times in the past. But for this piece, for where it's going, the Rubio, it darkened the color too much. It darkened the finish. Once the wax dried down, it was nice and clean. It softened the color a little bit, but it didn't darken it any, which is what I was going for. So I'm gonna use this for the finish, and hope you guys like it. I do. Well, that's pretty. Wow. right, so that's the first coat of wax. I'm gonna let that dry, then I'll buff it a little bit and see if I need a second coat later on. But it's looking awesome.